Hello everyone, my name is Jean Maria and today I'm going to talk to you about Spirited Away, created in 2001. I'm sorry for not uploading for this long, there were so many things to do. Hopefully, since summer is here, I will be able to record and upload videos more often. Like and subscribe if you want that to happen. Spirited Away 2001 is the first animated movie I have ever seen in my life. It established the foundation of frame-by-frame art and was loved both by critics and by viewers. I watched Spirited Away, or Chihiro no Kamikakushi in Japanese, for the first time a few years ago, and I instantly fell in love with everything about it. From the architecture of the magical Japanese bathhouse for spirits and gods, to the main characters. I decided to rewatch this anime and focus on technical details more than the limitless, fascinating imagination of Hayao Miyazaki and the animators at Studio Ghibli. The plot follows Chihiro Ogino and her parents to their new house. We can see that Chihiro doesn't like to be alone and with no friends at her future new school. The girl's dad, Akio Ogino, makes a rash decision to take a shortcut. The idea backfires very fast when the family gets lost and arrives at what looks like a deserted amusement park. Now, instead of turning back and finding out the right way to get to the new house, the Oginos decided to explore the newfound site. Chihiro is obviously creeped out by the place and doesn't try to hide her desire to go back to the car. So, at this point, I must mention the quality of animation. Many scenes are made remarkable because of their detailed, exquisite backgrounds and well-drawn characters. It is a widely known fact that animation films require extra effort, and many animation studios tend not to include too much detail. Miyazaki, on the other hand, adds extra detail, technicalities that can't easily be implemented in physical movies. The architecture of the multiple buildings shown in the anime was precise. The design was meticulous and managed to create the atmosphere of an ancient Asian culture. After we, the viewers, get the full taste of Miyazaki's animations, Chihiro's parents start eating at a park restaurant that is open, surprisingly to them and suspiciously to us. The 10-year-old girl gets even more creeped out and refuses to eat. She explores the park and meets a boy who tells her to leave immediately and without finding her parents. Of course, Chihiro doesn't listen. When she finds her mom and dad, they're no longer people. They ate food like pigs and became animals themselves. And surprise, the amusement park isn't an amusement park after all. It is a bathhouse for all sorts of spirits and gods. It shocks our main character, but thankfully, Haku, the boy she met earlier, is willing to help her. He tells her about everything she needs to do. Chihiro must find Uncle Kamadi, a human-like creature with 8 limbs, who can provide her with a job at the bathhouse. If Chihiro doesn't find a job, Yubaba, the bathhouse owner and a very threatening old lady in general, will punish her. Chihiro, or as Yubaba calls her, Sen, must work at the bathhouse and find a way to turn her parents back into humans. Sen finds new friends and new ill-wishers. She cleans a very dirty spirit, lets in No-Face, Kaonashi in Japanese, a spirit that isn't actually allowed into the bathhouse, and saves Haku's life. The soundtrack was made by Joe Hisaishi, and it became so popular that almost anyone who watched the film can recognize the music. Countless music covers have been made to the soundtrack since the release of Spirited Away in 2001. And there is a good reason for that. It can make anyone feel nostalgic. The movie left me with a mixed feeling of wanting a sequel and not wanting one at the same time. Sen is an invigorating character that teaches young girls to accept themselves and fight for what they think is right. It has been confirmed by Hayao Miyazaki that although people of all ages may watch and enjoy the film, the animated movie was created to inspire 10-year-old girls. Young girls were clearly underrepresented as heroines, and Miyazaki wanted to change that by having a relatable, normal girl as the main character. Miyazaki hides several very important lessons in the movie. These little messages cannot easily be seen at first, but they make up a pretty big proportion of the film. Here are the top hidden references in Spirited Away that will teach you a lot. The movie, like many other Studio Ghibli films, has countless references to Shintoism. The bathhouse's Shinto architecture, the spirits living inside of it, the backgrounds of many scenes, all of those say Shintoism out loud. Fans also know that Hayao Miyazaki loves to remind the Japanese people of their heritage and culture. Shintoism references are also present in Princess Mononoke, another movie that made the top 3 in Japan's cinematography in history. You can watch my review of Princess Mononoke by clicking in the top right corner, right here. Chihiro cleans the stink spirit, number 2, which turns out to be the spirit of polluted water. The scene was inspired by the director Hayao Miyazaki's experience of cleaning a local river. Here is what he had to say. I cleaned a river once, my local river, and there really was a bicycle. It was stuck in there. 10 of us wrapped a rope around the bars and slowly pulled it out. We really cleaned up the river, and the fish are back, and that's why I added that scene. Number 3. The names of characters have meanings in Japanese. Surprise! These meanings reveal the characters more in depth. For example, Kamadi means old boiler man, which is what he is. Yubaba means bathhouse witch. Again, can't argue with what is already in the name. Zeniba, Yubaba's sister, twin sister, has a name that means muddy witch. Also, Hayao Miyazaki refused to go to the 2003 Academy Awards to oppose the war in Iraq. Although the movie was nominated and won the Best Animated Feature Award, Miyazaki's values were too important for him. The movie uses a technique called Ma. If you watch Spirited Away, you can probably remember that there were several minutes in which nothing occurred. The world was there, Chihiro was there, but no actions took place. This kind of silence can be translated as emptiness. Hayao Miyazaki is an appreciator of mas. The director believes that filling screen time with mas is better than making the viewers be engaged with the film 100% of the time. The audience doesn't tend to treasure a non-stop action movie that has no breathing time. Instead, they would prefer films that leave a deep emotional response. The director, producer, and writer was Hayao Miyazaki. He is perhaps one of the only people in the filmmaking industry that does all the important work by himself. The voice-over actors in the English dub were Davy Chase as Sen Chihiro, Jason Marsden playing Haku, Susanna Plachette voicing Yubaba and Yubaba's twin sister Zeniba, Susan Egan as Lynn, David Ogden Stiers acting as Kamadi, the boiler man. Now that I have discussed all the important movie details, I would like to talk about bathhouses. While I was watching the film, it was very interesting for me to see Yubaba's bathhouse and the way it was designed. In Japan, I heard there are still many bathhouses. They're a big part of the tradition. Many Tokyo bathhouses offer visitors an insight in how Japan worked in the ancient times. Some look like Japanese and Chinese temples, others are more westernized. The typical bathhouses have several activities like salt saunas, massages, baths, and restaurants to eat in. Tattoos are strictly prohibited there, and the visitors may get to wear Japanese robes. Japan has great culture, and it would be amazing to visit it once the current coronavirus pandemic stops. Overall, I would give the movie a solid 5 out of 5. It brought out many emotions in me, got me very interested in knowing Japan and watching other Hayao Miyazaki movies. The plot was alluring and was pretty easy to digest, despite there being quite a lot of hidden references and messages. Anyone can enjoy this movie at any time. Hope you guys like this video, give it a big thumbs up, check out my Fiverr gig in the description and my blog readermaria.com. Thank you, bye!